Speaking of that offense, John, I tended to focus my attention today at practice on the wide receiver group, and I'm kind of glad that I did because I thought Michael Gallup looked fantastic today. The word springy comes to mind when watching Gallup today. How important is his success and more important, and his health going to be for this team this upcoming year, given the fact that CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks are there? And it feels like Michael Gallup is getting close, or it appears, back to his pre-torn ACL self.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. And tonight I want to talk about Michael Gallup because I sent out a tweet yesterday while I was on vacation, right? And said, y'all should be excited about Michael Gallup being used more versatile than just being an X wide receiver, which is a boundary guy. He's going to get a crazy amount of mismatches. And it sounds like a lot of Cowboys fans are out on Michael Gallup, and I do not understand why. So y'all know how we do on the channel. Let's go ahead and get into the film. So when it comes to Michael Gallup, we all know that he came off the ACL injury last year, right? And me personally, I felt like he rushed it. Michael Gallup even admitted it, like, hey, he wasn't his usual self. He was timid. He even said this time last year he could barely walk, but he wanted to come back to help the team out. And of course, we know how the Cowboys do. Once they pay you, they try to put a little bit of pressure on you to get you to come out on the field, and you might not be fully healthy. So I felt like that's what we really saw last year. But hearing things in-house, Michael Gallup seems to be fully healthy. He's going to be more of himself, and I'm excited. So let's go ahead and get into this film session real quick. So these are some of the things that we saw last year. Now, just watch his get off. His get off isn't the best, right? It just doesn't feel Gallupish. And we're going to go back through the history of Michael Gallup and watch some other film clips, but it takes a little bit for him to get started up. Now, this corner was holding on for dear life, and I'm not sure why this wasn't a flag, right, in this game. But typically, if you give MG13 this type of coverage, you're getting cooked. But you're going to see frequently in the film clips a lot of different instances where the corners are able to stay in Michael Gallup's hip pocket. And it's believed because there wasn't really a threat of him being a deep guy this past season. Everything you saw pretty much was underneath. Was more like the quick throws, the quick slants, and the comeback routes. But you see right here, he kind of let off a little bit. Like I said, this corner was holding up, but the MG13 that I know, this is 6. And we'll see that as we go through some other film clips. And like I said, what he primarily was for the Cowboys this past season was just your quick slant guy, toss it up, play a little bit of basketball, and let him go get it. But Michael Gallup, historically, before injury, brings a lot more to our offense. You see there with the big slant. Then also here, just another curl route. So there wasn't really any, impact as far as a deep threat's concerned. Now, Michael Gallup isn't a burner, but he is a guy that is able to stack against a lot of NFL corners. Remember the play in 2020, right, versus Jalen Ramsey, right? But if you look on this play right here, you have a single high safety, and this safety is not even concerned about anything that's going on that top side with Michael Gallup, because there was rarely any film to show that he's capable of beating in the NFL corners. So I feel like most defenses didn't really focus heavily on Michael Gallup. But as you see, once we kind of go back to the history, you'll see that wasn't always the case. But here, this safety is not even looking that way. He could care less. You have one-on-one coverage out here. It's a quick little curl route, and it just is what it is, right? Now, on this play right here, he's going to run this deep post. But even with this deep post, once again, there isn't much separation. Now, he's not really a separate, like he's not Amari Cooper, right? But he's able to create separation. And even on this play right here, it's just really Dak just playing basketball once again, throwing up high and let him kind of go get it. If you play Madden, more of an aggressive catch, you're pressing the triangle button and just throwing it high and going up and go get it. But still, there just wasn't that burst that you're accustomed to seeing when it comes to Michael Gallup. And this is like his second deepest catch of the season versus the Giants. His other one right here was versus the LA Rams with Cooper Rush at quarterback. And once again, you didn't see much separation. You'll see this corner stick in his hip pocket, not much burst, and Michael Gallup really just kind of just makes a play, right? So it just wasn't the Michael Gallup that we are used to seeing. So if you go back to his last year, right, he only had 12% targets over 20 yards or more. So that was like the lowest in his career. He only caught one catch, which is this one, right? So it was like 39% completion percentage rating and like 64 for the intermediate. So it wasn't a high completion percentage for Michael Gallup with the deep ball compared to the 2020 season, which we're going to watch film here. He had about 20 targets in 2020 and 112% completion percentage, when targeted at 20 plus. So like he was more of a deep threat. So if you go to the 2020 film, this is versus Seattle, and just watch his release here. It looks like it's just night and day. It's just night and day. And once again, this is pre-ACL injury, pre-calf injury, Michael Gallup pretty much fully healthy. But just watch the burst. Much faster. The plant's quicker. And also, he is making this corner respected. So once you're able to show that you can go over the top, it makes these comeback routes and these curl back routes so much easier because they have to respect you over the top. They got to bail. They got to get out of their stance. Once Michael Gallup is able to plant, boom, comes back, uses catch radius, his strong hands, and make a play on it. But this is the Michael Gallup I'm expecting to see this upcoming season. On this player right here, you have him outside. And here's the thing. When we had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup and a fully healthy Michael Gallup, if you leave one-on-one coverage with Michael Gallup and your safeties does not help, you will pay. And we just didn't see that last year. And you'll see that in this clip right here. You have two high safeties, but Michael Gallup's able to get the outside release. Boom. And this is what Michael Gallup did a lot when he was healthy. He's able to stack. And what I mean by stack the corner, he's able to get on top of the corner, right? So you're able to stack the corner. And once again, if you don't get those safeties over to help, bro, you're getting cooked majority of the time. Like, this is what makes Michael Gallup special. So if he's able to fully bounce back and be healthy, because look at this, right? You have these two safeties. He had one safety here, two safeties here. Who were they focused on? I believe it's a CeeDee Lamb. They're all focused on one player right there, forgetting about Michael Gallup, right? And see, last year, they could do that. In 2020, you couldn't do that, or you're getting cooked as good night. GG's in the chat, right? So it's like, I felt like this is going to come back this season, y'all, and I'm very excited for the bounce back return, if healthy, for Michael Gallup, because you can't just one-on-one Michael Gallup on the outside. Like, that's good night. And we'll see the game from this angle here. Look at Zeke, man. Go goodbye, Zeke, man. No more Zeke. Just from the end zone angle. Boom. Dak looks off. That's easy money. Easy money. Look at that stack right there. He already has the stride, has the catch radius. He can go out there and just make things happen. And that's what makes Michael Gallup truly special. On this play right here, right? It's not a completion, but once again, just watch the kind of same philosophy back in 2020. If you don't help, you're going to get stacked, bro. And there's not going to be too many missed opportunities. Now, he got pushed out of bounds a little bit right here, right? But once again, if you don't help on Michael Gallup, you're going to get stacked and you're going to get cooked. And so you add that with CeeDee Lamb, who's now in his 4th season. You add that with the speed of Brandon Cooks. Hopefully, Jalen Tolbert takes that leap. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for Michael Gallup. And I feel like when it comes to Michael Gallup, with the wide receiver room as it's constructed once again, he's going to be, quote unquote, your wide receiver 2A, 2B, right? Where he's not going to get the best corners, right? You're not going to put your best corner on Michael Gallup. That's going to be more of a focus on CeeDee Lamb and also on Brandon Cooks. But watch this play right here as well, even though it's not a completion. Now look at this versus Philly. This safety right here, he's like, nah, I got to come help. I got to come help, right? I got to come help. He's hauling to get over the top. But once again, Michael Gallup doesn't complete the pass, right? But there's a flag on the play. but that shows the pressure and the stress that he can put on the defense. Now you add a burner and Brandon Cooks alongside of that. You got to pick your poison, because it's like, all right, are you going to bail out and take on Michael Gallup? Are you going to bail out and take on, Brandon Cooks? Or are you going to leave CeeDee Lamb one-on-one with maybe your nickel corner? I don't know, but it's going to be definitely fun from a Cowboys fan's perspective. But those are some of the things we saw with Michael Gallup. Now let's play right here. Boom. Once again, down below. Just a quick little in route right here. And watch this burst once he has the ball in his hand, right? The wiggle was there back in 2020 pre-injury. The wiggle was not there when it came to Michael Gallup. So like I said, if he is fully healthy and you get some of this, because, 2020 and then 2019 he had 1,000 yards. In 2020 he had like an 860 something like that, right? So last year he only had like 400 yards. Now granted, he came back, didn't play a full season, but it was very un-Michael Gallup-ish last year because you didn't see any of this. Like, I feel like he really came back to play hero ball because our wide receiver room, let's just be honest, was very limited, and the only thing he could really do was just jump, go over you, and catch. You couldn't have this aspect and this dynamic to his game. I feel like this is going to come back if he's fully healthy. And then this play right here, he's lined up top, and he's going to run this comeback route. But watch this corner bail. Once again, you have that concern of getting beat over the top. So you have to play over the top, right? And you'll see it here as we can combine these clips. But it leaves these comeback routes and these underneath routes wide open because you're bailing out. Look at that separation by the time he plants. That's a lot of distance between Michael Gallup and the cornerback, right? So those are easy, simple completions, but see how deep down the field it is. So there are chunk plays that Michael Gallup is able to complete and able to bring to our offense with old Andy Dalton. And why does the cornerback have to bail? Because if you watch the film, also, this is from 2020, man. It was so crazy. Look at us with masks on. We was watching Cowboys games from Zoom cameras, all sorts of weird stuff. Who's this guy? I need to find this guy. But if you watch the film, right, if you're able to watch what Michael Gallup was able to do fully healthy, if you have one-on-one coverage, once again, he's lined up top, there's no help, it's good night. You can do this 10 times out of 10 with Michael Gallup. So once you're able to put these things on film once again and show that he can stretch the defense, it's going to open up so much opportunity for Michael Gallup. And I'm extremely excited about MG13's return back fully healthy, man. So comment, like, subscribe. It's your boy J Tuck. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, and CeeDee Lamb, let's get it. Peace.